Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Teens Biz Talk podcast. We are so excited that you are here with us today, that we have an opportunity to talk to our very special guest. Cannot wait to hear what she is about to share, what kind of gems she is about to drop, what type of tips and resources she is about to give. Woo! You don't want to miss a minute of this. So before we get into that, though, and have some time to talk with her, just want to remind you that today's episode is being sponsored by Bateman Empowering Educators. At Bateman Empowering Educators, we take away the trial and error method of your teenager learning about money and replace it with a practical blueprint to equip them to create a 5-star financial future. So be sure to check out the link below for any additional information and resources. If you are listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please be sure to subscribe. Go ahead and leave a comment below of something that really struck you during this podcast. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, hi, be sure to like and subscribe there also, and put a comment down below. Let us know what you think. All right. So today I am so excited. We have with us entrepreneur Ariyanna Moore. Hello, Ariyanna. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well. Thank you again for taking time out of what I'm sure is a very busy schedule to come and talk with our community and just share some things with us. We're super excited to have you here today.
Absolutely. I'm excited to be here.
Great. So if you don't mind, if you can just share whatever it is that you want about yourself, kind of let us know what exactly it is that you do, how you got started. Yeah, go for it.
So I'm the CEO of Divine Productions, Creators of Tomorrow, and You Are Loved, which kind of all falls under the umbrella of Divine Productions. So I originally just started out as a journalist because I absolutely love to write. I've been loving to write since I was a kid, and it's just kind of progressed from there. So I used to write just on a little bit about the news and then just what was going on around the world and celebrity gossip, things like that. And then I kind of slowly started to start talking about kids and what they were doing and kidpreneurs in the world, because I feel like they need all the recognition they can get, because it is amazing what some of these kids can do. Like the amount of research that I've put into it, I'm like, wow, like they're able to create so much and they're so young. So it's amazing.
Great. That is great. So you said you started out as a journalist, maybe doing a little bit more, you said celebrity gossip. So it's that type of, you can kind of find out the information out there, just something that's a little bit more maybe impactful, right? Because these kidpreneurs that you're able to engage with and do your research on, they are the leaders of tomorrow, right? They are the ones who are going to be the change makers and the leaders. What was something in particular that maybe a particular kidpreneur that you were able to engage with, or a particular piece of research that really struck you?
Well, I mean, I would like to say that every kid has impacted me in some way or form. Any kid that I may have done a write-up on or just wrote on in general, I would then go on to interview them just to kind of get to know them a little bit better. But I just think every kid just impacted me. There are some that have been doing trying to change the world rather than just have product, and those kind of touched my heart a little bit, because it's just like you're trying to do something not only for just our people, the environment, things like that.
Okay. Well, certainly as a journalist and as a writer, that is a very specific skill. And very valuable, because we definitely need the written word. So what would you say just kind of inspires you or gives you that push? I know I've heard of people having writer's block, but what do you do to make sure that your creativity is flowing, right? Those thoughts are flowing and that you're able to produce the writing that you want to?
Well, I'm never at a lack of I guess, content, because there are so many kidpreneurs out there. And if you just search long enough, you'll find someone who's wanting to be on top and wanting to progress their business. And that's just honestly what I look at. I'm like, well, if they can do it, like I can too. And another inspiration is definitely my dad. He is my number one inspiration. I definitely look up to him quite a lot. So just seeing him do his business and seeing all these kids do it, I'm just like, yeah, like surround yourself by the right people and you'll keep moving.
Great. And how old are you, Ariana?
I'm 19.
19. So you've been at this for a little bit. Those who are listening, right, as a teen, it's never too late, never too early to get started doing what it is that you love. What in the midst of all you've done would be a business challenge that you have encountered that because of it, it helped you to grow, or you learned a very valuable lesson from it?
So when it comes to my program, so I have a program where I teach kids 9 to 15 coding, animation, and graphic design. And before I was doing it virtual, I was actually teaching within Boys and Girls Clubs around Vegas. So I was teaching at Reynolds, I was going into Agassiz, and unfortunately COVID hit and they took most of the programs out of the Boys and Girls Club to obviously keep the kids safe. Right. And so that really hit hard and we had to figure out a way around that. So it's just like, well, if I can't do it within the Boys and Girls Club, let's see if I can get those kids and let's do it over Zoom. And Zoom really helps because I mean, it's a huge platform where you can do anything with it. So I currently teach on it. I'm teaching around like 7 to 10 kids right now, and they're absolutely loving it. And I'm excited to be teaching them.
Great. Great. So as you are teaching or writing or just encountering these other kidpreneurs, I'm sure that they might have questions, right, about maybe how can I do this or how can I get success like you, right? They might see what you're doing and say, oh, she's so successful. What is your response to them? And what is your definition of success?
So I don't think that, I try to be as much of a mentor as I possibly can because I am with all of these kids who are looking to progress with their businesses and within life. And it's just, a lot of my students actually are kidpreneurs. So it's just whatever I can do to help them. So if they need a logo, if they need something done, okay, let's work on that. You're in my class. Okay, if you need a logo done, if you need an ad done, you can do that. We can do it. We taught it in class. So let's try to get that done. So my definition of success, there's never something that she can't keep doing. Right. It's just like you can succeed. You can have like a list of things that, that day it's like, whew, got that done, but there's still more you can do. So I don't really have a full definition of success because there's always more you can do. Keep progressing.
Great. That is great advice. Keep progressing. So you had mentioned how things had to take a bit of a turn just, when the world changed and COVID happened and we had to shift from being out and about to just being in these small spaces, sometimes very alone. How would you suggest or how did you still network with people during that time, right? There was no school, there was no going to the Boys and Girls Club, there was no going to this event or that event. So how did you still maintain a good networking activity during that time? And then going forward, how would you recommend for other teenpreneurs that are trying to get started and trying to get connected? How would you recommend that they do that?
So the main way I networked was through my journalism. So when I did do these on these kids, I would kind of get to know them, get to know their businesses and everything like that. And if I found that they were interested in within my program, I'd definitely be like, well, hey, like it's completely free. Like I would love to have you be a part of it and just learn as much as you possibly can and take what you've learned and utilize it within your business. So when it comes to networking, I would just say, The internet is so huge. Social media is so huge. So find like-minded people and like-minded individuals, people who are doing things similar to you, and just talk to them because you'd be surprised as how many people would just, sit down and talk to you or text them, DM them, whatever. So it's just definitely just looking.
Okay. And so what do you do, working on that? And then I'm sure when you first started, right, there was school going on and responsibilities that you had there. And then, you just have a life in general, things that you want to do. So what do you do to help yourself stay focused and motivated to keep going?
So I think that my main motivator is just thinking about the future. If I have this goal set in mind, I need to reach that goal. So no matter what is going on, I need to think about that goal. And my dad also has been a giant help with that. It's just like, remember your goal. Remember, this is what you need to do. And this is what you need to do to accomplish that. And I'm like, okay, you're right. I'm just like, okay, let me just get this homework done so I can, I can write on these kids. I can figure out some lesson plans and get to my goal, which overall my goal is to get a brick and mortar where I can teach these kids in an actual physical building. So
Okay. Wow. That sounds great. All right. So we've talked about a bit just in terms of motivation and what to do. And right, you just encouraged us to just keep moving forward, keep persevering. The courses that you teach about coding, animation, and virtual design, I think that is just awesome and amazing. Those are definitely skills that are currently in demand and will continue
yeah.
to be in demand as things progress. What are your just thoughts on kind of where things are going? So let me see how I can be more specific about it. So just in terms of technology, right? There's just been a lot of talk lately about the metaverse and Web 3.0 and blockchain and NFT and things of that nature. So you could just, kind of share with us what are your thoughts and maybe what are some other ways that you see teenpreneurs can really jump into this space to be active and effective.
So I think technology is both really amazing, but it can also be dangerous. I think that's why it's really important to teach kids how to be safe online and to teach them how to be, safe with technology in general. So I just truly believe that when it comes to technology, you need to know what you're doing. So I always teach my kids just, what, like, let's go step by step. I'll work with you on this and we'll get to where you need to be. So yeah, it's just the technology world is so vast and it's just a learning process because NFTs, like, those came out of nowhere, right? And everyone was trying to like learn what it is. Is it just this picture? Why do you own this picture and I can't own this picture? So it's just definitely a learning process with everything. And I truly think it's amazing. The technology world is so vast and so amazing, and there's always more.
Yes, yes. And just out of curiosity, how were you able to shift from journalism, that kind of pen and paper, into coding and animation and the virtual teaching? What led to that? Not transition because you're still a journalist, but what led to that?
So I was learning animation, graphic design, and code within high school. And I just noticed that not everybody was able, to get that opportunity. So when I was around 16, I was just like, you know what? I was just like, let's see who can learn this and let's see who I can talk to get this out there. I want to give what I've learned out to other people. And so that's what I did. And that's when I started working with the Boys and Girls Clubs, and it went from there.
Okay, very interesting. Wow. Well, thank you. You've really given us a lot to think about just in terms of following whatever it is for our passion, for our dream. You mentioned the great support that you have from your dad. So definitely having someone in your circle, right, in your village that's there that you can go to during those times when you're like, oh, I'm tired, or I wish this, or I wish that. Just to be able to give you that push and say, keep going, you've got this, you can do it. Or definitely if they're able to encounter someone like you, right, who is in the teaching and in this space, of just constant encouragement to let them know that it can be done, and even kind of take their hand when need be, right? And walk them through, and then, let go and let them go ahead and grow and blossom on their own. This has been awesome. Awesome. So was there anything that we didn't talk about that you did want to share?
Not really. Like I said, my goal is just to get a brick and mortar, and I'm currently looking for sponsors for people to actually just help me get that brick and mortar. I am a college student, so the stereotype is right. I never thought it would be, but we are dead broke. So if anybody is out there willing to help me get this brick and mortar and to teach these kids such wonderful crafts to help them with further their careers and further their entrepreneurship, that would just be amazing. So please feel free to DM me. My what's it called? Instagram is Divine Productions, at Divine Productions. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, you all heard that, and that will also be in the notes below. So make sure you click, send a DM, let Ariana know how you can help her to get the word out to even more kidpreneurs. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again for taking time to share with us. This has been very good, very informative, very encouraging, and just a great example of moving forward, right? Younger people, teaching younger people, bringing them up, letting them see someone who looks like them, right? Who not too long ago, I was in your shoes. And I think that's really good just in terms of that type of representation of, okay, well, she did it. You know what? I can at least give it a try to see if I can do it too.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you all for tuning in today. Don't forget to go ahead and check out Ariana's Instagram page below. Send her a DM. Let her know how you can help. Maybe connect her, even if you just need to connect her with someone else that's in your network that can help her to get the brick and mortar, get this going, and reach more and more young people. And before we close out, as I always do, remember, everything in creation was created with a gift inside of it. That includes you. So go out and share your gift with the world. Until next time.